Smack 'em. Cool. Quiet.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the NBA Recap. Yes, sir, back into the video, back into the episode, and today I'm going to be focusing mainly on the Nets and the Lakers, man, which are my picks to come out of the Eastern Conference, albeit everyone is healthy, which I'm going to talk about today. This video I'm going to focus upon how chemistry is going to be built with the new additions and the injuries currently going on with both franchises, and I want to talk about how they can adjust in a way that can make them successful in beating off others in their conference. Now it's gonna be an interesting type of video because I'm currently watching the Nets game and KD's about to return. So if I keep looking down, that's the reason why. Because I'm watching the game. I don't have my other monitors, so I'm kind of using my phone. So yeah. So no notes today. So if I start gibbering off some bull, let me know in the comments section. But yeah, as always, let's get into the video. Now, I first want to talk about the Nets. Now, everyone knows, if you don't know already, the Nets are my favorite team. They are the team that I want to win the entire thing. Much respect I have for LeBron and the Lakers and AD, I really want the Nets to win. No offense, but at the same time, there are some issues with them that people don't seem to really be addressing because everyone knows that everyone's going to be healthy when the playoffs start, which is true, but at the same time, there's still some issues that I want to talk about that could hinder them from coming out of the Eastern Conference. The first issue I want to talk about is simply health. Now, obviously, KD is coming back tonight, so that's a great sign. Apparently, he's going to be coming off the bench, so interesting. But yeah, great thing for them coming off the bench. But here's the kicker, man. Here's the kicker. James Harden is now with an injury, with a hamstring strain. That's pretty weird considering that Kevin Durant just got back and now James Harden is now out for 10 days. So I don't understand what the issue with health is. Maybe it's a conspiracy that they just wanted to rest each other up until they're all ready to play. Maybe not, obviously not. But at the same time, I think it's just weird that I think the chemistry really needs to build. Blake Griffin for some reason is taking games off for some reason. I don't know why. I understand he's coming off a weird knee injury, but at the same time, you've been ready for almost a year, man. I think you'll be fine. I don't understand why you're trying to load manage, even though you're not that big of a piece. But at the same time, I guess that what they're doing is beneficial. We have not seen everyone healthy yet. We've only seen LaMarcus Aldridge be the steady guy that's been playing every single game ever since he became a Brooklyn Net. So at the same time, the chemistry still needs to build. We have not yet seen, like I said before, we have not yet seen this team completely healthy. So I'm very concerned on how the chemistry will build, especially with everyone. The trend that I'm seeing from all these sportscasting TV shows is who's gonna sacrifice. I believe they've only played about 8 games together, and we have yet to see like a fully, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice. I understand James Harden has now become the point guard, which he's always has, but I don't know why people are surprised by his numbers because he pretty much had these same exact numbers the year in Houston when he had 11, when he led the league in assists. But whatever. But at the same time, we've seen that James Harden was the one that took a step back. Meanwhile, still averaging 25, 8, and 11. But at the same time, I want to talk about how this is just weird because we don't know the chemistry. We don't really. Kyrie Irving has played in such like a crazy mode ever since Kevin Durant went down. But like I still want to see this go down in like a playoff series because I've yet to see that. I've yet to really. I can't automatically say that they're the people to come out of the conference because I want them to. Because you got the Sixers who are definitely better. You have the Bucks. Those are pretty much the only teams that I really think are going to beat them. That have a chance to beat them. But at the same time, it's just scary to think that like this team's only played 8 games together, and the playoffs are like 6 weeks away. It just scares me a bit. That's it. It just scares me a bit. For them, they're just battling with the Sixers for the first seed. Like I said, home court advantage isn't the greatest advantage, even though there are starting to be fans in these arenas, except for Chicago Bulls fans. Sorry, Chicago Bulls fans. But at the same time, the arena's starting to pack up again. So I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to be fully effective as like other arenas tend to be, because arenas when are fully packed. When arenas are fully packed, that obviously sways the game. So I just really want to see these three together. I watched these guys play. We watched them play for I believe 8 games, and yet I've yet to see them sacrifice. I'm really skeptical on how KD will come back, because he's coming off a hamstring injury, and I don't know why a hamstring injury was supposed to take him keep him out for 23 games, but it did. I thought it was an actual hamstring injury. I'm very skeptical on what could be the problem, but at the same time, I think it would be beneficial for everyone if we could finally see these three in action, because everyone has their doubts. I have their doubts, and obviously, I don't know why, but honestly, that's why I'm kind of watching this game very close, because I want to see. There's a thing going. There's just been this thing going on in my mind that with Kevin Durant being inserted, does their defense lack? I know that's crazy to say, because Kevin Durant is a great defender, but when you put Kyrie, James Harden, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, and probably LaMarcus Aldridge at this point, since he seems to be the steady starter, I'm kind of skeptical about how their defense is going to be, because obviously their defense is not as shitty as people thought at the beginning. Everyone thought their defense was going to be shitty, but at the same time, they have very improved. They're very, very, very improved, and I would like to see them all play together so I can finally see the team defense, man. Because the defense is key for them winning, because, like I said, I'm still not confident on the defense, even though it has improved. But that was my spiel for the Nets. Now we're going to move on to the Lakers. Now, this is my pick for coming out of the Western Conference. And like I said, I can't be obviously secure about that pick, but at the same time, I'm still going to go with them, because they're the team, when healthy, they are the best team in the West. For the Lakers, it's just a different situation, They're down both of their superstars. Their new guy, Andre Drummond, who's supposed to be their third ring, I guess, he went down. So, obviously it's just a toe injury, so he should be back probably Thursday, which they're playing the Miami Heat. So, yeah, it shouldn't be a problem for them. But at the same time, they're down to 2 superstars. AD should be back. According to what I saw, AD should be back after their 5-game road trip, which is good news to hear. I just like seeing people coming back from serious injuries. So, congrats, and I'm hoping he will do great things for you guys, Laker fans. But here's the thing. For Lakers, it's a different situation, because they are dropping in the standings, man. The guys are doing everything they can. The guys that they have, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Kuzma, Alex Caruso, the Taylor Horton Tuckers, Montrezl Harrell, and their new guy, which they just signed, in Ben McLemore. They're trying to hold it down, KCP. They're trying to Marcus Gasol. They're trying to hold it down until LeBron James and Anthony Davis can be fully healthy and come back. But my issue for them is their chemistry. Now, obviously, when you have a team with LeBron James, you shouldn't really worry too much about chemistry, because at the end of the day, he's always gonna bring along his teammates in any way, shape, or form. And the chemistry with Anthony Davis is already built, because they obviously won a championship last year. But inserting the new guys in Andre Drummond, they all played. Okay, so just inserting the new guys like Ben McLemore. Marcus Gasol needs to figure out his role, because now he's probably going to be on the bench. Andre Drummond will be starting, and it's just interesting to see how they will be able to adjust without their leader and then their second best guy. Well, for the 5-game road stand, however long they're going to have. But at the same time, I'm very curious to see how they will adjust. Like I said, they've been struggling. Don't get me twisted. They have been doing their job as far as winning the games that they should win. They just blew out the Raptors, even though it was only a 9-point game at the end. Nick Nurse was really dumb and salty for calling that challenge when the game was already over, but he did. They whooped the Raptors, man. it was like a 30-point deficit at the end. So 30 point deficit in some point in the game, but they cut it down to 9 because the Lakers didn't feel like playing after they were blowing them out. At the same time, they have been doing their job in beating the team that they're supposed to be. But as far as their other guys, they have a pretty tough schedule coming up. They got the Miami Heat. They got the Nets coming up on Saturday. They have I forget their lineup. I forget their slated games. But yeah, it's tough because they have what, the 4th toughest schedule in the NBA, or the 2nd, I don't remember. But they have a pretty tough schedule, and to see how they will adjust will be very interesting because like they are falling in the standings. So they could potentially be in that playing game, which everyone's saying that they will. I don't think they will, but they could be potentially in that playing tournament where they would have to face a 8th or 9th or 7th seed, 8th or 9th or 10th, 7th seed or seed when they are, struggling. But like I said, I'm not really worried about them making the playoffs because I would put the Lakers over anybody in the playing game. No offense, but at the same time, it's weird to see that. I mean, for the Laker fans, I would still be confident because once again, you guys have been building your chemistry with the role players. The role players need to understand that when LeBron and Anthony Davis come back, their shot will be reduced, obviously. At the same time, I still believe that and I hate saying this, I still believe that when they're fully healthy, they're the best team in the NBA. I hate saying this because I want the Nets to beat them, but at the same time, when they're fully healthy, in my opinion, they're the best team in the NBA. I know people have been swaying to the Brooklyn Nets nowadays because they got their 3 All-Stars. Everyone's been damn near kissing their ass, even though I'm not. I'm just a fan, not a kiss ass. But at the same time, they've just been everyone's been swaying to them. They got since they got 3 All-Stars, and the narrative is now with them. But at the same time, I still think when everyone is healthy for the Lakers, they are the best team in the NBA. Sorry, they just have everything. Even their defense has been great, even though they've been losing these games. Their defense has still been pretty box office. At the same time, that's the team that scares me the most, and I'm very interested to see how their season will go out once LeBron James, once Anthony Davis, once Andre Drummond take the floor together. But yeah, that was it for the video, man. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on post notifications. Make sure you let me know what you guys think. If you agree with me, if you think that if you think that I'm right what I'm saying, and yeah, as always, we out. Peace.
Tell you to love, you didn't get up and leave. I showed the loyalty.